Okay, everybody, so welcome to another class. I hope everybody is doing well today. This is teacher Marimar, as usual. And also we have teacher Farid with us. Hello, teacher Farid.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, so remember, we're still working on our book, which is American English File 3A, but not for so long. We're about to finish. So, as usual, before we start with the actual lesson, let's review these things that I'm pretty sure you already know if you haven't here before. But anyway, it's always good to review things, right? So let's go over them. The first thing is to try to be on time. As I always mention, I usually open the session a couple of minutes before 5 on Thursdays and 4 on Saturdays. So you can actually have time to adjust your microphone, your camera, or anything that needs to be adjusted before we start, okay? Then, please, guys, use your actual name and last name on the Zoom session so that we can identify you. Otherwise, we have no idea how to address you when the time to speak to each other comes, okay? So if for any reason you're not doing that right now, you can have, you have the option to rename yourselves and put your names, okay? Then have any materials you may need ready, and your materials aren't only your books, can be a notebook, notepad, or a pen, pencil, a bottle of water, tea, coffee, anything that you need to feel comfortable during the session. Ideally, we should all have quiet places to have the class. If that's not possible, then we'll try not to get too distracted by what's happening around us. Then please try to stay the whole session and keep your camera open for better interaction. I know our internet connection here in the whole country, actually, it's pretty unreliable. So if you cannot open your camera, if that makes you have better connection, then just don't worry about it. But please do try to stay the whole session so that you don't miss out on any bit of information that we exchange, okay? You know this, your microphone will be muted. However, you can use the following functions to interact with the teachers and classmates. Please do not forget that we have these options. That you have those options, okay? So here you have a button. Okay, actually you have a toolbar at the bottom of your screen, okay? The microphone icon is for the microphones. The camera icon is for your video. And then if you click on the participants button, it's going to open another tab with the names of all the people that are participating here in this session. And at the bottom, you're going to see this, okay? So now that we are here, I urge you to keep your Zoom app updated because there have been many updates over the past couple of weeks. So try to stay with the latest version, okay? So the most important one here is the raise hand option, okay? In case we need your interaction with this. Then you have yes, no, thumbs up, thumbs down if you want to clap, or if you need a break, or things like that, okay? You can let us know by using these buttons. Then if the teacher asks for volunteers, and you can be sure we will, as we always do, you can open your microphone and participate, okay? And most importantly, have fun. So if you have any questions, if there is something you do not understand that you would like us to repeat or something like that, just open your microphone as a way, or if you're feeling maybe a little shy, or if your connection isn't that good today, then you can always use the chat box. We are going to read your answers there, okay? So having said that, let's get started. Today we're going to start actually with a new lesson, okay? It's lesson 5A. As for now, I'm pretty sure that you're familiar with the structure of this book. Every unit has two files, like lesson 5A and lesson 5B. Once we finish the lesson that has the letter B, you have a quiz on the platform. That means that last Saturday, the quiz for unit number 4 was made available on the platform. Remember that starting from the day in which those tests are available for you, you have 6 days, okay, to finish the test, the quiz actually. So if you haven't worked on them yet, I urge you to do it today, if possible, and if not, tomorrow, but that should be actually your last option, okay? So if you can do it today, that's going to be wonderful. And as usual, if you have any issues with it or if you have any problems, something you don't understand from the quiz, you can always send me a message on the platform or contact our coordinator directly, okay? So, lesson 5A. I'm going to show you some pictures, okay? And I want you to tell me what you think this unit is going to be about. Of course, if you have your books open, you already know what this is about. But I'm going to show you the pictures anyway, and I want you to try and guess what is going to be about. This is the first picture. So what comes to your mind when you see this picture? You can open your microphone, remember that. Okay, so here, sports. Sports, yes, you're right, guys. Sports. Excellent, very good. So I'm going to show you another picture so that you can tell me what you think. Look over here. Is this a common picture from, or is it something that you would see at any sports event? What is this person doing? What do you guys think? Oops. No ideas about this? I know he's brushing his teeth and he seems to be a baseball player. So why do you think he's doing that? Any ideas? Does anybody know the name of this lesson yet? You can open your microphones and tell me, okay? And if you, okay, Alejandra, yes, you can open your microphone, no problem. You raise your hand. Okay. Okay, perfect. It says superstitions here. Wonderful. And yes, this unit's name is sports superstitions. Very good. Okay. So let's continue. Okay, you should be able to open your microphones yourselves now. Let's start with this. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures again, and you have to tell me what sports come to your mind when I show you these pictures, okay? So, what sports or sport do you actually associate with this picture?
Basketball.
Basketball.
Okay, great. Yes, that's true. So this is the basket in which you have to put the ball in basketball. Great. Then we have this picture here.
Ping pong.
Ping pong.
Okay. Does anybody else have a different name for this, by the way? By any chance?
Table tennis.
Excellent. Thank you very much. In English, we call it table tennis, okay? Because that's pretty much what it is. You play tennis, but on a table. That's really cool. Then we have this picture over here. We have a belt. So what sports do you...
Taekwondo, karate.
Okay, yes.
Martial arts.
Excellent, very good. So martial arts will be like the whole category, but I just take one other. Great. Then this picture, we have a stick here. In what sport do you use it? Or sports?
Hockey.
Okay, thank you. I have a person who says hockey. Does anybody else have a idea? Oh, ice hockey. Yes, Ale? Okay. So, yes, we use it for hockey, okay? And it can be ice hockey as well. You also use a stick to play ice hockey, just as regular hockey. Then we have this. In what sports would you use this kind of helmet?
Cyclist.
Okay, so that would actually be cycling, okay? So you use it when cycling, wonderful. And we have one last picture here. What sports do you associate it with? Sorry?
Skateboarding.
Okay, yes. Perfect. So remember, the sport itself is called skateboarding. And this element right here is a skateboard. Okay, excellent. Now, guys, have you ever played or practiced any of these sports? Either basketball, table tennis, martial arts, hockey, cycling, or skateboarding. Do you have any experience with
Yes,
any of this?
I do.
Okay, so what do you play, Ale? Or did you play?
I did taekwondo.
Oh, wonderful. Excellent. But you don't anymore.
No.
Okay, that's cool. Anybody else has something similar to this? Or has ever played or practiced any of these sports?
I played hockey, but not ice hockey. The other
Oh,
one.
the regular one, the one that play on the grass.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
excellent. That's really cool. Awesome. So, can I have anybody else? Or you never played any of this? Not even table tennis? Like, not the professional table tennis, just with your
I
friends.
was at high school.
Okay.
I used to play table tennis.
Okay, wonderful. It's a lot of fun, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much, guys, for participating as usual. Also on the chat, I see some answers over here. So let's move on. Yes, Camila Velasquez, do you want to say something before we move on? You can
No,
open-
teacher.
Okay. Oh, because you raised your hand. That's why.
Sorry.
No, no
Was
problem.
a
No problem.
mistake.
I thought you wanted to say something. No problem at all. So now we're going to do some practice about vocabulary. Obviously, everything that we're going to do today is going to be related to sports. Okay. So on page 157, we have different kinds of exercises in which we're going to either review words that you already know about sports or learn new ones. Okay. So this is the first exercise you're going to see on page 157. Are you guys on that page? Let me see. Okay. So let's start with the first exercise. We have here people and places. Okay. So what we have to do is put the correct number. You see that each picture has a number from 1 to 9. And we have to put the correct number in the square that we have next to each word. So the words that we have are captain, coach, fans, players, referee, or umpire actually, spectators or the crowd, team, stadium, and sports arena. So number 1 is the example. Picture number 1 belongs to fans. Now, let's start with this word that we have here, the captain. Which one or which picture do you think belongs to the captain? Okay, I have number 3, number 3, number 3, and yes, you're right, guys. Number 3, awesome. So what about coach? Who do you think is a coach? What number?
7.
Yes, ladies, you're absolutely right. Number 7. So what about players?
5.
Okay, let's see. Excellent, really good. What about the referee or the umpire?
2.
2.
Okay, so the umpire will be a kind of like a judge that is over there watching a game, making sure that the rules are being followed. What sports can you think of that might have an umpire and not a referee?
Volleyball.
Okay, excellent.
Tennis.
Perfect, yes. Excellent, that's right. Great. Now, spectators or the crowd, what number do you think belong to them?
6.
9.
9.
Okay, I have 2 votes for 9, 1 vote for 6. What do you think, guys? 9, 9, 9. Okay. And yes, you're right. Number 9 belongs to spectators. Then we have team.
4.
4.
Okay, let's see. Excellent. It's number 4. Great job. Do we have a stadium?
8.
Okay, I have 1 vote for number 8. What do you guys think?
8.
Okay, I have
8.
another vote for 8. Let's see. Yes, you're right. And finally, we have sports arena. Which is number?
6.
6.
Yes, the one that we have left, number 6. Okay, excellent job, guys. Now, we're going to skip letter B and we're going to go straight to letter C, okay? We have to match the places and sports. So each one of the words that we have here on this exercise is the name of the place where you play a certain sport, okay? Just as we have here in this example. For example, it can be a tennis court or a basketball court. That's how you call the place where you play those sports. Now, what about soccer? Soccer and baseball, both of them use the same word. Which one do you think we should use here? Course, field, pool, slope, or track?
Field.
Okay, I have a vote for field here. What do you guys say? Okay, I have more votes for field in the chat.
Field.
Excellent, you're right. We use the word field for either baseball or soccer. Okay, very good. Then we have swimming and diving, or diving actually.
Pool.
Okay, pool. Great, excellent guys, pool. Then we have running or horse racing.
Track.
Okay, very good. It's also a track. Can be for either of them. Then we have 2 left. Number 5 is golf.
Field.
We have used that one. Or number 2. What we have left is slope and course.
Course.
Okay, we have 1 vote for course. Let me check the chat. Course as well. Then, excellent, it's a golf course, very good. And we have the last one, ski. Which one do you think we should use there?
Slope.
Slope.
Slope, excellent. Do you know what is a slope? No? Okay, so in your minds, imagine a mountain. Mountains usually have this shape, right? It's a little bit like a triangle. So this angle, the inclination is what we call a slope, okay? And that's why we use it for skiing. Very good, guys. Does anybody happen to have any questions about this so we can move on? I mean, before we move on to the next exercise? Okay, apparently not. So let's move on to exercise number 2, okay? And this one we have different parts, okay? On the first part, we have to complete with the past tense and past participles, okay? Let's see if you remember them. But before that, let's focus on this, okay? Win and beat. Both of these words are words that are used a lot when we talk about sports, right? And sometimes people might confuse them. People think they mean the same, but actually they don't, okay? So when you win, it means, okay, you are the winner. You won a competition, you won a medal, you won a trophy, a certificate, whatever. You don't need to mention who were your opponents, okay? Now, when you use the word beat, you do have to mention who you were playing against or which ones were the teams that were playing. For example, here it says the Red Sox beat the Yankees will be the correct option, okay, because they were the winners, not the Red Sox won the Yankees. If you say the Red Sox won the Yankees, it means that the prize was the Yankees, okay? And that's not actually what happened. So, Teacher Farid, can you help us with these exercises?
Sure.
Great. So let's start with letter A.
Okay, so do we have a volunteer?
I hope so. They can open their microphones or chat.
Okay, so anyone? Any volunteers? Okay. No, so let me select.
Ooh.
Okay, we have first one. Beat.
So we have the simple past already. What we will need here is the past participle of beat. Does anybody remember?
So we have first one. Miguel Cara says beaten.
Okay, so let's see if that's true. Excellent. And let's go to the next one.
Win.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the past tense of win?
Won.
Volunteers? Yeah, so won. And past participle of win?
Same.
Okay, Camila says both. Excellent. Perfect. Next one. Lose.
Lost.
Lose and last.
Lost.
Okay, we have lost there.
And the past participle? Okay, Karen says both. So it's lost. Perfect. Very well. The last one, tie.
Tied.
Tied. Perfect. And the past participle?
Tied.
Perfect. In both, I think. Okay, yeah. Well done.
Yeah, great. So you can move on to the next one now. You have to complete the verb column like this over here with the past tense of a verb from A. So these are your options. Beat, won, lost, and tied.
Teacher,
Yes,
what is tie?
is when there is no winner and no loser. They have the same result. Like, for example, they have like 0 and 0 or 1 and 1. They have the same result. So there is
Thank
no.
you.
Thank you. Was that another question? No?
Yes. What is beat?
Beat is when you win a game, okay, but you mention who was the loser. Like, I don't know, Paraguay beat Argentina in the last match, okay? So Paraguay was the winner, Argentina was the loser. I have no idea if that's true or not, but it's just an example, okay? So you can continue, teacher. You can select your volunteers for letter B.
Okay, the first one. Costa Rica.
Beat.
Costa Rica beat the US. Okay, perfect. Well done. Next one, Costa Rica.
Won.
Perfect. And number 3, the Chicago Bulls.
Lost.
Perfect. Very well. And the last one,
Tied.
Spain. Perfect. You're right. Tied.
Very good. So do you see the difference here? In this example, it's really clear what's the difference between beat and win, okay? Great. And I will have one more exercise here. You can work on that as well.
Okay, so let's go to number 2. So don't play tennis on a wet court. You might.
Get injured.
Perfect. You might get injured. Next one. A soccer player has to try to the ball into the goal. Miko say kick. Perfect. You're right. Kick. Yeah. Number 4. I've started going to the gym because I want to
Get in shape.
Shape.
That's it. Right. Well done. And number 5. Our new striker is going to
Score.
That's it. Score a lot of goals. Perfect. Number 6. Would you like to
Go.
Yeah,
Go.
go swimming. Perfect. Well done. And number 7, my brothers.
Do.
Yeah, do yoga and Tai Chi. And the last one, in basketball players,
Throw.
Throw.
that's it. Well done.
Okay, that
Good
was
job.
great. Great job, guys. Now I have a question for you all. Anybody who can answer, just open your microphone. What is the difference between kick and throw?
Kick is with the foot
Wait.
and throw with the hand.
Okay, yes, that was a very good explanation. Basically, kicking is something you do with your feet, and throwing is something you do with your hands. Okay, excellent. So what about getting injured? Is it something positive or negative?
Negative.
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 Yeah, nobody wants to get injured, right? But what about get in shape?
Positive.
Positive.
That's definitely something
Working out.
positive. Okay, yeah, that's working out. Perfect. That's true. Great. Now, before we finish on this vocabulary section, let's take a look at the phrasal verbs that we have here. Okay. Remember, phrasal verbs are two words that when they are together, they have a different meaning than they will have if they were separated. So, for example, the first one that we have here is to warm up. What is to warm up? It's not that you are going to put a coat or something on yourself. When you're talking about exercising, it means that you have to do some sort of light exercise before you do something that requires a lot more of strength. Okay, so basically you prepare yourself for exercising. Then somebody, I don't know who it was, I'm sorry, but they mentioned the word working out. And yes, when you work out, basically you exercise, okay? And then you have the word, the phrasal verb, knocked out, okay? So if you or your team gets knocked out from a competition, it means that they are eliminated, okay? So keep that in mind because phrasal verbs are always super useful, okay? Any questions about this before we move on?
Funciona.
Nope.
Funciona.
Okay. So let's see what we have next. In here, we need you to answer the following questions, okay? So remember that at the beginning of the class, I asked you to have your materials ready. Well, that's because we're going to use those materials. So please, guys, if you could take some notes from these questions, that would be awesome. There are 3 questions, okay? So that I need you to answer. If you want to take a picture from these questions, that will be awesome. If you want to copy them super fast or just write down some notes, that's gonna be great because then we're going to work in groups, okay? That's why I'm asking you this. The first question says, what comes to your mind when you hear the word superstition? Just wait a second, save your answers, okay? Question number 2 says, what superstitions do you know or have you heard about? And question number 3 says, do you think there are some actions that can bring bad luck, such as walking under a ladder, that is pretty common, or are there some actions that can bring some good luck to your life? For example, keeping a lucky charm or a small object for protection. So an example of an answer for any of these questions might be, personally, I don't think any actions can bring us bad luck because we're in charge of our own future, okay? Now, this is just a model of a possible answer for the third question. What we are interested in is in your questions, okay? And for now, you are going to be doing what? Working in groups, okay? We have been doing this before. If this is your first session after a while, then this might be something new for you, okay? But on the past couple of sessions, we have been doing this and it seems to be a lot of fun, okay? So you will be separated into groups and sent into smaller rooms called breakout rooms, okay? So try to provide a single answer per room, okay? So there are 3 questions. And ideally, you should try to reach an agreement and create one single answer that you're going to share with the class after we finish that exercise, okay? So, as usual, and as we always do at the CCPA, we are going to have our roles, okay? So, in this case, the oldest person in the room is in charge of writing the answer, okay? So, everybody can take notes, but that person is going to be in charge of crafting the final answer, okay? Then the person whose birthday is coming up will read the answers to the whole class. So if your birthday is next week or at the end of June or at the beginning of July or during July, then you are going to be reading your group's answers today. Then the oldest person in the room is keeping track of the time, okay? You're going to have 8 minutes to finish this activity, okay? 8 minutes and unfortunately no more, okay? After 8 minutes, we're going to close the rooms and you're going to come back to the main session. Then if there are 4 people in the room, the other person is going to be the team leader and he or she is going to answer the questions to every member of the group, okay? So just a reminder, what are breakout rooms? Well, they are the smaller rooms that you're going to be sent to in order to work in groups. You are going to receive an invitation that looks like this, and you will have to click on join breakout room, the blue button, to be able to go to that room, okay? Then we will be checking on all the rooms. I can move from one room to the other. However, if you have a question and you want me to go to your room, you can ask for help, okay? Once you get into the room, this button is going to appear there. It says ask for help. And if you click on that, you can click also on invite host, that's me, and I am going to go to your room, okay? So, does anybody have any questions about this? Yes, no, maybe. We have done this before, so it shouldn't be that difficult. And I know it's a lot of fun because every time I check on your rooms, you're speaking, and that's really cool. So if you can receive it, now I am going to send a picture of the questions to the chat, okay? If you're on your phone, maybe you're not going to receive it, but if you are on your computer, you will, okay? So I'm going to go now. Here. There it goes. So now you're going to receive the invitation to go to your rooms. Please click on accept and you will go there. Okay. So see you later. If you are the person in charge of sharing the answers of your groups, please raise your hand with the Zoom option, okay? Not on the camera. Okay, so I have Miguel here. So Miguel, can you share the answer to the first question from your group, please?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So we came to an agreement of saying that superstition is something that is usually is not real and that is only in your mind.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Miguel. So can I have another person, another reporter, another speaker, please? You can just open your microphone if you want. No problem with that. From a different group, please. Let me see. Are my speakers shy today? So remember, you can just unmute yourself. Open your microphone anytime as you want.
Me, teacher.
Hello. So,
Hello.
Harry. So what superstitions do you know? Can you mention some of the superstitions that people mention in your group?
We mentioned the black cat, some broken mirror could be,
Yes.
and the example walking under a ladder.
Okay, perfect. Great. Then, thank you very much, Harvey. Can I have another volunteer? Yes, Karen, can you read your answers for the same question?
Oh, I didn't
She
want
was
that.
in my group.
Raise the-
Oh, okay. So you raise your
yeah,
hand.
yeah.
Sorry.
That was accidentally.
No problem. So another volunteer, please. Actually, another reporter from a different group.
Hi, teacher.
Hello. Can you raise your answer? I mean, can you share your answers with us to the same question? What superstitions do you know?
We don't believe in that, but we know that players, for example, soccer players, always believe in that. They, for example, get into the stadium with one foot, for
Okay,
example.
so with a special foot, either the right or the left one. Okay,
Yes.
I didn't know that. That's interesting. Thank you very much for sharing that. That's cool. So, can I have another speaker for the last question about the bad luck and good luck thing? I still need people from 2 different groups because there were 5 rooms. So, do you think there are some actions that can bring bad luck, such as walking under a ladder, or good luck, like keeping a lucky charm for protection? Let me see the chat here. Yeah, sure, Miguel, go ahead.
Okay, so for the last question, we just came to an agreement of saying that it really depends on each one. Like some people believe that there are some things that can help you, and there are people that don't believe in that.
Okay, thank you very much. So basically, your group, you guys think that it comes to the person. That's really, really cool. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone who participated, for working really hard in your groups and for sharing your answers. But now it's time for us to move on to another activity. We're going to go to page 45 in your group, in your books, where we have a reading activity, okay? Now, on that reading passage, we have different paragraphs. In each paragraph, we have a blank space. And these are the options that you have to complete them, okay? You have letters A through F. Letter F is already used, is the example, so we're gonna use them anymore. So that leaves you with 5 possible answers, okay? Now, we're going to focus on reading, and then we are going to see how to complete each one, okay? So if I bounce the ball 5 times, so Romina, for example, mentioned that in her group, they talked about some superstitions sport that soccer players have, right? Like just walking into the soccer field with a specific foot, let's say. So who can read this first paragraphs for us, please? Anybody, just open. Yeah, of course, go ahead.
Okay. Tennis players are strange people. Have you noticed how they always ask for 3 balls instead of 2? How they bounce the ball the same number of times before serving, as if any change from their routine might result in disaster.
Thank you very much. So here, the blank space is already completed, is the example. So let's go to number 2. Who can read this, please? Anybody?
Me?
Thank you.
The number 1 female tennis player, when she was once asked why she had played so badly at the French Open, she answered, "I didn't tie my shoelaces right, and I didn't bounce the ball 5 times, and I didn't ride my shower sandals to the court with me. I didn't have my extra dress. I just knew it was fate. It wasn't going to happen."
Thank you very much. So here we have basically a lot of information on what this tennis player does, okay, before her matches. Who could read paragraph number 3, please?
Me.
Okay, thank you. Ale?
Goran Ivanis. I don't know how can I.
Don't worry, this is an English class.
Wimbledon champion in 2001 was convinced that if he won a match, he had to repeat everything he did the previous day, such as eating the same food at the same restaurant talking to the same people and watching the same TV show. One year, this meant that he had to watch Teletubbies every morning during his Wimbledon campaign. Sometimes it got very boring, he said.
Yep, I guess all of us know the Teletubbies, right? Yep, I see some people saying, yep, same. So number 4, who could read this one, please? Miguel, you raised your hand before.
Okay. So, as we were watching tennis player Andy Murray play the 4th season at Wimbledon, my wife suddenly got up and went to the kitchen. He keeps losing games when I'm in the room, she said. If I go out now, he will win.
Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Number 5, who could read this one, please?
I can.
Me again?
Oh, Karen, you can read number 5, and then number 6 goes to the next person, okay?
Okay. Last year, a survey of British soccer supporters found that 21% had a lucky charm, anything from a scarf to a lucky coin, while another questionnaire revealed that 70% of Spanish soccer fans perform pre-match rituals, like wearing lucky clothes, eating the same food or drink, or watching games with the same people.
Thank you very much. And now let's go to the last paragraph. So go ahead.
She returns and he won the feast. I laughed at her and then remembered my soccer team, Spurs, who were losing 1-0 in the Carling Cup. If I leave the room now, Spurs will score, I told my kids. After 27 minutes of overtime, I left the room and they scored twice.
Interesting. Thank you very much to everybody who participated in this. Now, let's see if we can find out how to complete these blank spaces. We have a lot of information about superstitions here, not only from players, but also from the fans, okay? So, these are the examples. We have letter A, letter B, letter C, D, E, or F. In what number do you think we can put letter A? Do you have any ideas? Can you take a look at that in your books? Or over here? Letter A talks about, sorry?
The last one, number 6.
Okay, it could be. Okay, it could be. We're going to check that in a moment. Letter B says a good example is Serena Williams.
Number 2.
Okay, that could be number 2. Superstitions and rituals are very common among fans.
Fine.
It could be, yes, that's very much possible. After my wife had left the room, Mary lost the 4th set. I had a very specific situation in one of the paragraphs about it.
4.
And the superstitions and rituals are not confined to the court. Any ideas?
3rd.
Could be the 3rd. So we have our answers here. The correct one for paragraph number 1 is letter F, is the example. For number 2 is letter B. Yes, you were right. For number 3, letter E. Yes, you were right as well. Number 4, letter A. Yes. Number 5, letter C. And number 6, letter D. That will be the last one. Okay, so take notes from this real quick if you haven't already before we move on to our last activity of today, unfortunately. Okay, so on page 44 in your books, there is a questionnaire. Okay, on page 44, it is a big questionnaire. It takes like half of the page. It starts with a big question here. The big question from this questionnaire is, do you like sports? Obviously, you only have 2 options here, yes or no. Now, this is what we're going to do. It's speaking practice, so just get your microphones ready because we're going to open them at any second. Now, do you like sports? Is the question. Teacher Farid, are you around?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. So let's show them how to do this exercise. So we have two options here, no, and also yes, okay? So, Teacher Farid, I ask you, do you like sports?
No.
Okay, perfect.
It's
So,
not my thing.
okay, great. Neither do I. So his answer was no. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is select one question from this column to ask him. Okay, so my question is, do your family and friends like sports?
Not really. My brother, he used to play cricket.
Okay.
I mean, that's the only person I know in my family.
Okay,
who likes
perfect.
sports.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much. Now, Teacher Farid,
You're
it's
welcome.
your turn to ask one person from the class the big question first. Do you like sports? So choose a person and say, Fulanito, do you like sports?
So let me select Miguel Cara.
Okay, so Miguel.
Hello.
Miguel, are you around?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, yes. Miguel, do you like sports? Miguel?
Oh, he said yes.
Yes, okay, so let me. So Miguel, do you prefer playing sports or watching sports?
I prefer watching.
Okay, he says he prefers watching. Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. So now it's going to be Miguel's turn to ask the big question to another person in the class. Okay, Miguel, so you say the name of the person and you ask the big question.
I can choose randomly, right?
Yeah, you choose. Your choice.
Fiorella Garcete?
Okay, so Fiorella Garcete, this question is for you.
Yes.
Do you like sports?
I do like sports.
Okay, so do you watch a local sports team?
It's this question. Do you go to watch a local sports team? He said.
No. Sometimes, not right now.
Mm-hmm.
But last year I used to play volleyball and I used to watch a lot of their games, like a lot of their games.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Fiorella. So Fiorella, now it's your turn to choose one person from the class to ask them the big question. Okay, you choose any person.
Okay, Karen Ortigosa.
Okay, so Karen.
Do you like sports?
Yeah, I love sports.
Okay, so now Fiorella, you choose one question from the yes column to ask Karen.
So, have you ever been injured playing sports?
No, never.
Okay, great. So Karen, now is your turn. Choose another person. Can be anyone, your choice.
Giovanna.
Okay, Giovanna, you're around?
Yes, I am around. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfectly.
Do you like sports?
Yes, I like.
How often do you play sports?
Before I used to, I don't know, 2 times a week. Maybe 3. I play basketball, so
Oh, awesome.
yes.
Okay,
But
great.
three times depends.
Perfect. So Giovanna, now it's your turn to choose another person from the class.
Okay. Fabricio.
Okay.
Do you like sports?
Yes, I like.
Yes. I can see the
No?
question.
The question.
What's the most exciting sport event you have been to?
What?
The last, I don't know.
Yeah, what's the
The
most exciting sports event you have been to?
Tennis, because I just played once the sport, and it
Okay.
was a good experience.
Okay, excellent, Fabrice. And now it's your turn to choose our last volunteer of the day, unfortunately. One person.
Okay. Teacher, I can't see the questions.
Okay,
I don't know why.
I'm going to do this and I am going to show them again. Can you see them there?
Yes.
Okay.
I chose Camila Fleitas.
Okay, Cami. Cami, can you hear us?
Or okay, and Camila, do you like sports? What sports do you play?
Oh, Camila says she plays handball. Okay, excellent, Camila. Thank you very much. Okie dokie. So thank you very much for everybody who participated today. That was a lot of fun to talk to you and to have you talk to each other. Unfortunately, we have run out of time, so we have to stop it here, okay? But do not forget that if you have any extra questions, you can always call any of these numbers or contact our academic coordinators for any questions you might have. Also, do not forget to check the platform and work on the quiz for Unit 4 if you haven't already. It's going to be available until tomorrow, okay? So if you could work on it tonight, if you haven't already, that would be amazing, okay? And remember that we have, our next class is going to be on Saturday at 4, so I hope to see all of you there, okay? So take care, guys. That was it.
Bye-bye. See you on Saturday.
See you on Saturday.